So I'm going to do some filming on our way home as well. So we'll actually get to go up through the entire town, because we're going to go, in essence, the long way, but it's like through the mountains, and it's a really beautiful path. We had talked, well, Ralph had talked to the lady at the, because it's Carbon County Visitor Center, and told them where it goes out, so we're going to go that direction. So this will be a second video, just to check out the drive a little bit, just to see how beautiful it is. Some of the people walking on the road like I did before, not a good idea.
If you're skinny, it's okay.
If you're skinny, it's okay. If you're bigger like us, it doesn't work.
It's not smart.
Just like trying to hide behind a small tree, it doesn't work out well.
At all.
Like I had said on the walking to Maine, at some point I want to come up here again and maybe do the whole thing, but with my back being out, and that's the Malk-Chunk Museum.
Yeah, so that's as far as we had gotten on our first video.
And it just sort of like both of us were a little tired, and with my back going out, it's just not handling it today like it normally would, being on hard surfaces. But still pretty cool up through here, and like Ralph had said earlier in the video, the only thing that's up here a little further is the jail, which is straight ahead. You can see the tower.
Oh my God.
They actually have tours that you can do most days, and they take you through, they talk to you about the Molly Maguires. That's the famous trial that happened of the I guess they were all Irish. It was actually sort of funny when Cliff and I did the Searching for History video in the I'm trying to think what the name of the Charles Baber Cemetery. The judge that presided over that trial was there. They said there's an Irish guy that goes in there every day and spits on the guy's gravestone.
Wow.
And you could see like the runoff from it.
Wow.
It's too.
Look at this church up here, though. You see this church?
Yeah, this is a really impressive church.
Wow.
I think it's a little bit newer of a structure, like 1900s. I mean, it's still got 100 years on it, but it is a little newer.
That's a huge church, man.
Yeah, it's a big, big building.
Wow. It's immaculate.
It's the Immaculate Conception Church. It was conceived immaculately.
I know. That's pretty wild.
I forget what the year was of that, but yeah, you get to a certain point up here, and then it's just like they quit trying. So
quit trying. Well, yes, they did. I'm really curious to see how this road pans out, man, because this is a road I've never been on before.
I think Cliff and I came because we had parked back there because it's free parking along the road. You get lucky enough to find them. But they have, I think it was right up here because there's an old fire station.
Oh, okay.
I think it was right up here. So it was a long walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was up above here. Might even been a little further than here.
We'll find out.
Because there is I think it's on the left.
So you can turn around.
But we hadn't gone any further than that. And it was a long walk. I don't think it was quite up this far. It's probably back a little further. And
there was one on the opposite side, so you probably missed it.
Yeah. That's what happens. That's a pretty little creek there. Nice little stone wall that they have along there.
Yeah. And we're on Lentz Trail. This is the famous Lentz Trail. Now we are in search of Sasquatch.
Yeah, it's actually a Sasquatch, not a people crossing. It was a shaved Sasquatch.
It was shaved.
And he was moving quickly because he wasn't happy and he was cold.
What's this say here? Switchback Trail.
Oh yeah.
There's a lake up here.
Yeah, the Switchback Trail. They had like a really cool railroad thing that was out here. That's also on the National Registry of Historic Places as well. How much that's actually there yet, I'm not sure, but there is a thing up there.
This is kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
I've never been this way before.
Yeah, this is the first for me as well. It's just cool how this is this valley. You see the mountains.
Yes, I like this a lot, actually.
Either side.
Yeah, it is. I'm turning your back on. I thought we were going to. This is kind of hot.
All right, cool. Well, I'm going to pause this for now, and then we'll start up a little later on in the trip. Just a little bit more. We're going to be coming up on the town of Lansford, which is just north of the town of Nesquehoning. And I do believe I'm saying that correctly. It's Nesquehoning. It's an interesting name. It's an Indian name. whether it is Lenape or not, because that was I'm not even sure I'm saying that right. There's different ways that it's been said.
So it's 902. What do we do here?
I'd go straight.
Straight, okay.
Yeah, because this, I don't know what this is, but
Okay.
I don't think it'd be good to go further north.
Okay. I don't know about that.
You might get to see Ralph and I get lost in coal country.
In coal country. Yeah, I don't think this is actually like a busy road here.
No, I don't think this. I think this is
we
just
might
sort
have
of.
to go back up to 902.
Yeah, we might have to go back that way.
Yeah. But at least we can look for neighbors there.
Yep. And the Yankees.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that, but if you're a Yankees fan, I'm sorry. I like the Phillies. They stink and they torment me all the time, but you know, hey, what's life without a little bit of suffering?
I call that marriage.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, he didn't say that out
Oh my
loud.
gosh. See that? This is interesting. This is like a main town. This is a main street here.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. Is there a stop sign here?
No, I don't think there was.
I think there is. Actually is. There's a stop sign.
Well, there's a stop sign for them.
Oh, that's
I'm not sure if there was a stop sign for
I
us.
don't even know where I'm at.
I don't even know what town we're in.
I don't know either. That's the best thing. I'm going to go ahead and go over that way, though.
This is sort of cool. There's a little village green here in the middle.
That's the whole thing. Let's see if we can figure out what town we're in. It says Hilltop Community.
Should say here, Laura, they said
I don't know.
Summit Hill is what this is
Oh,
called.
we're Summit Hill. Wow.
Stop sign.
Stop sign. I stopped completely. There we go.
They have a lot of stop signs in this town.
I tell you. This is interesting.
Cool village green though. They have all the monuments
Yeah,
and
they do.
always like that.
Uh-huh.
They have that in Millersburg. They have the little gazebo where they have their parades and whatnot. Always like these. Another stop sign.
Wow. Boy. Look at this. Jeez. Oh.
They like their stop
I was
signs.
gonna say, I wonder if we're gonna come to a dead end because this doesn't look like it's promising.
Yeah, this is. I don't know what's going on here.
Down here, I think we're gonna end up in a.
Maybe we're going to wind out becoming the
the
property
bush.
of a Sasquatch.
This guy just drove past us going like, oh, tourists.
These people have no idea where they are, and he would be right.
Correct.
At least we know it's called Summit Hill.
Yeah.
But the Nesquehoning is probably, yeah, this is like a dead end.
Is it really?
I guess you could go right.
I'm going this way.
Maybe it is a Still Road.
No, I don't know.
We're going to find out what's around the building.
It's around the building. I don't know. It's still a road, you think?
I hope so.
I hope so too. I don't know.
It seems to be leading back towards those
I
houses,
guess,
or it's
I
leading
guess.
down to a pit, and
Oh my gosh, look at that.
we're gonna get sacrificed.
Wow, look at that. Hey, that's around the corner. Wow.
Very
I
nice.
think that we are officially like dazed and confused.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to go find 902 again.
Yes, here we are.
902 was the thing for that show, the fancy California people.
Yeah, that's right.
90210.
Yeah. Shannon Doherty. We might run into Shannon Doherty.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know if Shannon Doherty would be like cool with being out here. She wants all like the fancy Beverly Hills stuff.
That's
But,
right. This is fancy.
but the Nesquehoning most likely is that might be Lenape as well. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Slightly. So one funny thing is like Mock Chunk sounds like very German. So I have no idea, but
Oh, I thought it sounded like freaking Indian.
whatever it is, it's Lenape, or how do you say the other way to pronounce?
Lenape.
Lenape. So it's either pronounced one of those ways. Sorry if we butchered it. I butchered it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Mock Chunk. It was actually founded in 1818, founded upon the coal industry, and like I said before, it was renamed 1954 to Jim Thorpe because Jim Thorpe was one of the greatest athletes ever, and he was Native American. And where he had been born in Oklahoma, they weren't willing to pay for a memorial, and his wife wound out looking around for a place that would be willing to make a memorial for him and celebrate his life.
No, no, hey, honey. I had to right away, honey.
We almost died. Well, Rock almost died.
Yeah. I almost died.
Or was fatally injured or something
Yes.
along those nature with all the stop signs around here.
I guess that in this town, that the second person to stop at a stop sign has the right way.
Yeah,
I
there's a
didn't realize
different rule here in Summit
Must be a
Hill.
different- Yeah, this is interesting.
So, anyways, they wound up making an agreement. Jim was Mark Chunk at the time, and made an agreement with his wife to create a memorial for Jim Thorpe and also burial.
What do you think? This looks promising. Going that way. I mean, it looks like
This looks like a main thoroughfare.
It actually has a double yellow line.
Yeah, I would say this might be a good one.
As long as this person doesn't. You gotta let me come across here. May I come? Thank you. I have no idea where I'm at.
Hopefully we'll know soon.
We'll know soon. I just know I'm tired of stopping every block for those stop signs.
I've never seen that many stop signs.
Look at this.
So, but anyways, they wound up bringing Jim Thorpe, the town Mark Chunk, and renamed it in 1954. Eventually there was some problems there because the oldest son wound up suing the town of Jim Thorpe to get his father's remains back, because they claimed it was under a Native American law. Oh, cool. So we actually somehow found 209 instead of 902, so
I don't know.
It worked out for us.
Yeah, we took the
Scenic route. So he went to sue them because he said it under like the certain law for Native American artifacts, and it was in fact a town to some degree because of the way they were presenting Jim Thorpe's burial. It was like a museum. So when he went to court here in Carbon County, the judge ruled against him, but said if you want to bring it back, you can, but you have to bring more members of your family, and he has his tribe as well. And they did that and actually won in court, but the next court up they took up, they got defeated, and then the Supreme Court refused to hear them. So you go ahead, Ralph.
Are we going the opposite way that we should be going?
No, I think we're going at least I hope so, because this is Lansford here.
Is it Lansford?
This is Lansford.
Okay, so
we go through Lansford on 209. It'll take us the whole way down to Nesquehoning.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I used to go through here where the Family Dollar is.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yep.
Because I'm going north right now. So.
Yeah, it goes through the other side of town.
Okay, what do we at here? Junction 209, going that way. I'm going south though. This is interesting.
I think you want to go.
I'm going. Yeah.
Wherever the 209 is the next one.
Yeah, next street down.
So anyways, it basically seems at this point the oldest son wound up passing away. So at this point,
see, Tamaqua,
you want to go. Yeah.
I'm going toward Tamaqua.
Yeah, you want to go towards Tamaqua. That's the way I used to go. That way took me to Nesquehoning, and then I go back home that way.
I'm confused, but that's okay.
But anyway, so at this point, nothing will happen with his body. But there was a lot of controversy with that. A lot of people felt it was very, very unfair to the family. So, but the people of Jim Thorpe have treated him with the ultimate respect, which is what, in a way, his wife was looking for. I think also the one son said she was looking for money. So there's a number of angles with that whole thing. But anyways, that's Jim Thorpe, and we're here in Lansford now, which is another historic town. A lot of cool older buildings. There's actually, as you come into Lansford there, you can see the one, was it the one town clock or something like that? It was actually sort of a cool view. But it's older coal mining towns. A lot of older buildings still here. The architecture and that type of stuff. You know, it's not like Jim Thorpe, obviously. That's a very unique town. But
in fact, here you are. You're welcome to historic Lansford.
There you go. Welcome to historic Lansford.
That's right.
I believe this may be the place where they have a mine number 9, where you can actually go down into mines.
Oh.
I believe that's here in Lansford somewhere, right in the area. But pretty cool area. So I'm gonna probably turn off the camera for right now, and then once we get to Tamaqua, there's some pretty cool places through there. I always thought this was pretty neat. They have the football stadium here in Lansford right next to, right there's number 9 mine tour.
Okay.
You can go down to that. It's cool, one of the cool rural town stadiums. It's like that. It's got a very cool feel to it.
Yeah.
So this is Lansford, and we'll sign off until we get back to you in Tamaqua. So we are now heading through Tamaqua. Another really cool old mining town. bunch of different historic buildings here. I believe this is like the side over here where they have a number of the really cool historic buildings. Look at that place there.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah, there's a number of them along here that are pretty impressive.
Yes.
That they restored. And then downtown. You know, and these places back in like 1920s were pretty hopping places. They were towards the end of their glory days, but they
You guys crossing? You're welcome.
don't want to put the person directly on the camera like that because sometimes people get unhappy about that.
I stop for crosswalks because
I'm a responsible citizen.
I actually paid for the ones that are in Palmyra, Pennsylvania.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yes. That's what you do when you're in business.
Make sure that people can cross the street safely because it's terrifying crossing some of those streets.
It is on Route 422.
Yeah. That was the one thing I'm on Hershey all the time. I tell people they go on to try to cross the road, it's like be really careful because people don't stop.
Yeah. Again, some great looking buildings here on your right hand side.
Yes. Yeah, some really.
You know what I remember about this town is up ahead here, isn't that where that cemetery is on the hillside?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
You just think about this back in probably like the 50s. All these shops had somebody was in these shops, and this was
Thriving.
it was thriving.
Because
And
the economy was thriving.
yeah,
America was thriving.
it was just very, very cool. All these different buildings, they had names from the original owners, the stores that were here. All that history that's on these Main Street hometown.
The greatest generation.
Always enjoyed going through these older towns, like especially the coal mining towns, because it just has so much history. And there's a cool, like there's a church up on the hill there. It's unique architecture and the old railroad station. You just wonder what it looked like back then. All the older cars.
Oh yeah.
Just how cool it looked back then.
Look at this over here at my side.
First National Bank.
Look at the architecture.
Look at that. The old clock.
Wow.
That's impressive. Apparently it's a museum gallery or something.
wow.
There. Old church there. First United Methodist Church.
Yes. Cool. See all the spires here in town from all the churches?
Yeah. It's always neat, like seeing the skyline
Yeah.
for a lot of these towns. You get to see the.
Yeah, look at it over my side there. See how there's a. Yeah, isn't that cool? What are those called? Cupolas?
Cupolas or something. Yeah. Oh, look at the front doors on that.
Yep. Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Okay, this is what I remember. You come down through here, you see
Yeah.
all.
Here's
shot.
this straight shot into the cemetery.
Yep,
That's pretty neat.
that is. There are all kinds of monuments, I believe, to soldiers throughout the cemetery. I believe my daughter took me to that.
I believe there's a number of mausoleums that looks like as
Yes,
well
there
there.
is, yeah.
So that's the Oddfellow Cemetery, and the entrance is down further, but that's pretty neat looking.
It is.
That's a place definitely I'm going to come up and visit at some point.
Because you're an odd fellow.
I am an odd fella.
Yes.
So with that, I am going to shut down because now we're heading out into coal country. So maybe we'll see you a little bit later. There's something I always found interesting is this town that we're coming through now is called New Philadelphia.
Right.
Doesn't look very new or very much like Philadelphia, but it's still cool that you have a town called New Philadelphia just out here in between Tamaqua and Pottsville. here is New Philadelphia. And what I haven't mentioned earlier, that this is Route 209. I think when Ralph and I were looking, we talked about it, but this is Route 209 all the way down through here. It's another one of these small coal mining towns. That was pretty much all that was up through here, that and the iron furnaces that ran all over the place. There's apparently one in this area called the Valley Furnace. We had gone and checked out one that was called the Swatera Iron Furnace near Sudbury and Outwood, and they were all over the place. There were some really big ones, like in the town of Cornwall, also Union Forge in the Lickdale region. That van's destroyed. Those were pretty large forges. There were some pretty large forges as well, and furnaces in Lebanon, but most of them were just one furnace or forge, and that was what got us through the Industrial Revolution, was being able to have those forges making the iron for back then, and eventually steel. So that was New Philadelphia. So we're heading back into the wild blue yonder, or green yonder in the valley, and we'll come back to you in a little bit. Here we are, we're only a couple miles from Pottsville. We're going up the mountain. We just went through a town called Port Carbon. Sort of a cool little town. There's a pretty cool stone church, and town hall was right behind it. This will take us up into Pottsville, and I think actually here along 209 you can look up and you'll be able to see the statue that they have of Henry Clay, who Pottsville, he's actually a senator from Tennessee, but he did pass some kind of legislation that wound out charging some pretty significant tariffs on exports, or I guess you could say imports of coal and stuff like that. So it actually helped this region quite a bit, because if he hadn't done that, they were starting to buy like coal from England. Always love that kind of stuff. Somebody that needs to be heard, but I just don't get that. I don't get the point of that, but whatever. I try to have a good attitude about stuff like that, but it's just, to me, it's just ignorant, and just in general to hear that going through the neighborhood. Like, thanks, buddy. Yeah, like straight ahead. Let me see if I can get that. On that white pedestal, that is the statue of Henry Clay. Pretty cool, actually. But they put that up there because that legislation actually saved this town. And but it's actually a pretty cool, very historic town.
This is the county seat.
Hey, this is the county seat as well for Schuylkill County, I believe.
Yes, it is.
So just like Jim Thorpe was the county seat for Carbon County, this is the county seat for Schuylkill. It's really getting difficult. If you're not hearing me, it's not my fault. It's not Ralph's fault either.
It could be my fault.
Well, it could technically be Ralph's fault. We're willing to place blame where
I would take the blame
is due.
I chose to go ahead and sit beside a bus.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is.
So we're actually not going to go through Pottsville itself, because we're going right out South 209, which takes us back out. Well, eventually I think that takes you down to Minersville, or near Minersville, and then to Tremont at some point.
We're taking 61.
We're taking 61. 61. So with that, at this light, I'm probably not going to do any more filming, because a lot of the stuff that we'll be going through is going to be areas that's going to be main highways. So this was a fun little trip. It was cool coming down through here, seeing all the sights. 209 is a pretty cool road to go down through, hit a bunch of those little towns. So with that, from myself and from Ralph,
Hey, it's me.
we will say goodbye.
We will say goodbye.